pleased to introduce you to Wilbur Shapiro. He has written a book, he's written a couple books, but he's written a book that we're talking about, Amos the Gifted, today. And Wilbur has such an interesting background. We talked off the air, and I think you're going to really enjoy him. Hey, Wilbur, thanks so much for coming on.
Okay, I'm happy to be here.
So first of all, let's talk about your background and what led you to writing this particular book.
Okay. My background, I was an engineer. That was my vocation. And I did that for about more than 50 years. And then when I retired in 2005, I was 75 years old at that time. And I had been doing personal consulting for the last 10 years. Now, when I retired, I decided I would like to write. So I began to write, and I wrote, my first book was a poetry book. And then as time went on, I kept writing. And then my wife became very ill. And she had AIDS around the clock. And those AIDS were mostly black women. And they were very interested in their children's education. And that's what got me to write the book, Amos the Gifted. Yeah. It's about a black boy who is gifted. And his wife, his mother, Soriana, was very attached to him, and she wanted to get married to the guy that helped conceive Amos, but he refused. So she decided that she was going to do her best for her son. Now, there was a turf war going on between two black gangs, one up here in the area where we live, it's upstate New York, and one from downstate. And they were the one up in upstate was very interested in Amos because they needed him to do a lot of the paperwork. And they tried to kidnap him, but the turf war prevented that and allowed Soriana and Amos to escape. And they ended up in a place in New Hampshire where there was no black people, but there was a hospital there. Now, Soriana was an expert in electronic health records, and the doctor at the hospital in New Hampshire was overpowered with these required documents, and he couldn't. He didn't want to not see his patients. So there was a big backlog of these electronic health records. And when Soriana told him she was an expert at that, well, he hired her immediately. The doctor then found out a lot more about Amos, and his scholastic record from where he came from was outstanding. So he was able to persuade the powers to be to support Amos in college and in medical school. And Amos became the doctor at the hospital, and he was very well renowned. And this was a farming community, and they needed a good hospital and some good doctors, and they really appreciated Amos and his mother. Eventually, Soriana, his mother, died, and it crushed it crushed Amos to no end. But Amos did have an intern who was working at the hospital, and they eventually married, and everything turned out okay. That's kind of a summary of my book.
Wow, and it's a great summary of your book. What do you want people to think or feel after they read Amos the Gifted?
Well, here's what I think. I think that brilliance is colorblind. That's one thing. And number two, the bond between mother and child is unbreakable. Those are my two important things that came out of that book.
What did it feel like to see this book out there? And it's in the world. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you can get great books.
Well,
What's it like?
I'm very happy to see it. But the problem is my books haven't sold very well. So they need a lot more advertising, and I'm working with a marketing outfit now, and I hope things work out. As a matter of fact, as we speak, there will be a screenplay of the book Amos, and I hope that we can get a movie out of it.
Ah, that would be wonderful. What do the people say that, after you wrote the book and you go back and you tell people, hey, I wrote this book, what do that people that inspired you, what do they say about it?
Oh, they like it very much. Yes. Most people who read the book liked it very much.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, most people who read all my books like it very much.
Wow, what a testament to you. And you told me off the air, and I swear you don't sound a day over 60. Tell the listeners how old you are, Wilbur.
Well, I'm 91. I'll be 92 in April.
It just shows you the age is just a number, right?
Yeah, right.
It's just a number.
I don't know. God's been good to me. I don't know why, but he's been good to me.
No kidding.
I feel he wants me to do something, but I'm not sure what it is.
So we know that writing is what you're doing. Will you do another book? Are there more books in you?
I am writing another book now. That will be my 9th book. Okay?
Wow, 9 books.
Now let me recite a poem, and maybe that would clear everything up.
Okay.
Okay? I am approaching 92 years of age. My life, how do I gauge? I am lucky to have had a wife that lifted my spirits. Now listen to this poem's lyrics. To survive, there must be meaning in life, or else the mind will melt into strife. So how can we avoid derision? Make sure that you have a mission. I have chosen the English word. It makes me breathe and keeps me spurred. My emotions are loose and not tied tight because I can sit at my computer and write. I long ago approached an age to retire, but that was not my desire. I will write until I can't anymore because my fingers have become too sore. Prose or poetry, it doesn't matter. I stay away from useless chatter. I am free. I feel good and light. That's because I can sit down and write.
Bravo. I think that's the perfect place to end this. Well said. Wilbur Shapiro, thank you so much for coming on.
Okay. I have just 2 more lines to recite.
Okay.
And this will be on my tombstone. He returns to dust from whence he came, but his books forever will remain. Okay.
Brilliant. But brilliant.
Thank
What
you.
a delight to talk to you. Thanks, Wilbur.
Thank you, Kate.